What's up, guys? Dub here, and aw shit, as you guys probably know or you figured out by now, I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Last year's E3 I posted a reaction video off my phone that ended up actually being kind of shockingly popular. But yeah, so Star Wars Battlefront, this is the first visual gameplay, and we're gonna freeze it right here and look at some things. First, in the lower right, we're gonna see the basic HUD. What these end up being, I know what three of them are. I don't know what the far right is. On the left is normal frag grenade, and the top is a little plasma shield, and the bottom is actually like a set of binoculars. And one other thing I want to point out here is the gun. If you look down at the gun, this thing is stupid simple. Nothing too fancy, no crazy camos, no Call of Duty or like no Titanfall making it look crazy stupid. It's a simple gun. And if we go ahead and continue on, a couple things I want to point out actually while it's rolling. There's two objectives. That's obvious. That makes me think kind of like Rush in the Battlefield series. And then the other thing I want you to look at is in the lower left, you're going to see radar. There are a lot of blue dots on there. Now, this is supposed to be a game mode that's going to have a lot of people in it. So I'm wondering if we're actually going to be legitimately looking at like 18 people per team or possibly even more. This map is real huge. You're going to see TIE fighters flying around, AT-AT way off in the back, and here's your binoculars. I mean, this just looks like it should be huge. Now, if we look on the lower left, we see, or in the lower right, sorry, see the same exact thing, just rather instead of the binoculars, we're gonna have like this little thermite grenade that you're gonna see here in a second. Just really interesting, but the fact that both like Stormtroopers and Rebellion, they have the same thing. Look at this grenade. That is fucking intense. That is nuts. So we're skipping forward a little bit. This is gonna be, well, I'm assuming it's gonna be a demo class. On the left is gonna be a grenade launcher, you're gonna see later. On the bottom there's a little rocket launcher, and on the right's actually a jetpack, which you're gonna see him use right here. Now, one thing to notice, guys, we went from a third person to first person and back and forth. So here we go again. That's good. That shows that there's gonna be you know, flipping back and forth. And notice how it took one rocket to blow that guy up? Yeah, that tells me that things aren't going to be too overpowered, like vehicles are not going to be just stupidly overpowered like in the original Battlefront. Now we're looking at AT-AT. If we're looking lower to the right one more time, you're going to see this is the basic repeater. We have the little two-shot blast, and it's actually an orbital strike on an AT-AT where this thing just absolutely wrecks. It shows a pretty good arsenal on these, a lot of crazy stuff going on. So now back on the Rebel side, we have the basic, I mean just basic, a lot of totally spacing what these are called, A-Wings. No, these aren't A-Wings, I can't remember. Whatever, they're cool. And you can see actually in the top left in those red circles, you actually see the health. It's 94, 93, it's slowly going down in the health of it. And so there's a cool little explosion, and they're taking down the AT-AT. There's actually an EMP going on, which I missed where that came from. And we're actually going to flip over now to some flying. Basically, these are pretty simple. There's like a boost, some rockets, but this gameplay is really sweet, and boom, first-person view of the TIE fighter. This looks so sick, but this is the best part. This is my favorite part. This is, look at this really tight, like, canal trench fighting. You know there's going to be a Death Star map on this. You just know it's seeing that. It's got to happen. And this is interesting. We have basically an LMG version of the gun, or SMG maybe. You see he flipped right there. There's no going to start menu. There's a button. He flipped go to third person. And you can actually see this is not a human. This is a Guido or whatever you want to call him, whatever they end up being. And this is what an orbital strike looks like if you hear the unlucky bastard on the other side of it. So a way to counter it, which is really important. Yeah. Force choke. Interesting thing, he actually dropped his gun there, which I find interesting. And yeah, you know this is going to happen. Luke, if you actually look, since we're going to be playing as him on the lower right, there's a force push. I don't know what the top one is. Maybe that's the bouncing back or reflecting the shots. And I'm imagining on the right's a force throw. But look at him. He's going to go. It's those two. Now, we're actually flipping now. I know that's kind of a weird, quick transition. I want to kind of go through this quick. I'm going to be breaking it down piece by piece, as that's kind of boring to me. But this is actually some shots of the solo co-op, or solo campaign / co-op campaign, I should say. So just a couple quick things I want to show here. Up in the top left, kind of cool, little hologram of Admiral Akbar giving the stuff, or giving the orders. On the right side, you see L1 is actually the left, which is... we found out is actually like the grenades. On the right is the R1 is going to be the jetpack, and on the top is like the little shield. So this is showing there's gonna be like little drops, possibly in the middle of the game there's gonna be drops. There was the grenade launcher, in case you guys missed it. They showed a really short clip. So there's gonna be drops, maybe kind of like the supply crates and care packages in Call of Duty. And there's a melee, kind of interesting melee. Here's a little personal shield that you saw. And the one thing I want to show here is actually a person dropping a orbital strike down. And the last thing, I mean, guys, a lot of stuff going on here. It's super pretty, and this is pre-alpha. I'm so stoked for this game. I hope you guys are too. Is there anything I missed? Anything kind of big in there? So they showed a lot of stuff, but yeah, I'm excited, and I'm excited for more. See ya.